I decided to do this project because it really needs to be done. I know that a lot of men of colour are not taking PrEP. Like, you can see that from the trials, the PrEP trials around the world. There's always a low intake of black men in particular. So I thought it would be a good idea to get a bunch of people together to talk about our experiences on PrEP, because I don't feel like you see a lot of men of colour discussing PrEP.
I think projects like this that specifically target the black and minority ethnic community are really important, because I still feel like there's very little representation for sexual health in terms of content for our community.
A lot of media that we see concerning sexual health, or at least that I've come across or that I would come across, is mainly centered around the experience of white gay men, which, you know, is not clearly not my experience, or not something that I can fully engage with or trust.
I don't see a lot of South Asian men in advertisements or campaigns linked to LGBT issues, so I think it was important for me to sort of be visible.
I think it's about raising awareness. I think the black community in general are not as open on talking about sexual health and PrEP in particular.
There's a stigma with being LGBT in the South Asian community, and so I think sometimes it prevents people from making themselves visible, although that's changing and has changed a lot since I came out a few years ago.
I think it's really important to start talking about PrEP now, because statistics show that although HIV rates in the UK in general are falling within ethnic minority communities and with gay black men especially, they're still rising.
And there's not enough black representation of individuals who are taking PrEP, but also who are taking PrEP and open about speaking about it and sharing their experiences.
This project it's important for us to take control and be at the forefront of our own health, and for people to see people like themselves discussing it.
There's a lot of people are having conversations about race, and I feel like using that momentum to also break down stigmas regarding the intersection of race and sexuality and healthcare. Like, this is a good time to plant those seeds and start those conversations now, so that it doesn't become like another thing that we have to talk about 2 years down the line. It's like,
I would like for people of all demographics, all different sexualities and genders to learn. I want people to learn more about PrEP and to understand it from different people's perspectives. I think there is a lot of talk about PrEP, but there isn't a lot of who's using it and how they're using it and how it works for them. So
pick up a pamphlet, definitely read a bit more about PrEP and see if it can make some changes in your life and be a good preventative strategy. And
just get tested regularly, and that way you're always in control of your own sexual health.
you know, you have every right to show your colour and be proud of your colour, and also be proud of your bodies and your sexual health, but also it's important to be responsible when it comes to your sexual practices.
I would like people to understand that there are different types of people within the LGBT community. There can be multifaceted types of men that are of colour, that aren't of colour, that are non-conforming as well. I feel like we kind of have this narrative that LGBT actually means one thing, but it can mean a majority of things.